You would think, given the sheer amount of fantastic Range Rovers and Range Rover Sports, such as this one of course, that we would need to expand our premises to fit all of these cars in, but the reality is they sell so quickly and they are in such high demand that they're almost out of the door as soon as they arrive, and we believe this very well could happen here again, because this particular 2015, so of course the facelift generation, Loire Blue with jet black leather interior Range Rover Sport in, and here's the two keywords for many Range Rover potential owners, Autobiography and Dynamic. The two things which most people are looking for on one of these vehicles, and again, that is the most popular spec for one of these in our collection, likewise with its engine, the 3-litre SDV6, and this is a vehicle which has barely covered over 100,000 miles, 103 in particular, and that is with a full 10 stamp history behind it, and that includes most recently, barely 100 miles ago, it also has its two original keys and book pack intact, and an MOT until April of 2026. Now in the case of every single Range Rover which we have in our collection, they are all superb in terms of value for money. There's no other word for it. This one though, well even more so we think is going to be gone very quickly because it's under £16,000. That is quite literally hatchback territory these days, and for a vehicle with a number of key advantages over even the already popular outgoing generations and Range Rover before it, that is superb value, especially when you factor in that that still has the option of low deposit finance if you did want to make use of it to spread out the cost. Now speaking to that engine first of all, and then of course we'll get to its spec, being that 3-litre, that means 300 horsepower, surprisingly good performance actually from one of these when you need it, but crucially, and of course this is what you will probably be using most of the time, either for effortless acceleration or more importantly as a towing vehicle, a very significant amount of torque, 440 foot-pounds, which is up around 600 newton meters. A huge side benefit though of having that low-end pulling power, and this is something which many people don't actually realize, is it improves your fuel economy. If you have an engine which, particularly in the form of a diesel, is not working that hard, well you don't have to push the engine anywhere near as much as you would with the equivalent petrol, for example. In the case of these cars, that means an average of up to 40 miles to the gallon, as high as 44 on the motorway, and of course, especially in this day and age where SUVs and 4x4s, trucks, luxury cars are very expensive, in some cases to tax, this one is quite literally less than half the price of many on the market at £345 a year. To return to the point of that spec though, it is first and foremost a Range Rover, so you want luxury, spec, trim, comfort, all of those goodies, and that it definitely delivers on, and of course that is where the Autobiography comes in. In particular, it has heated and cooling seats, heated steering wheel, adaptive cruise control, 4-zone climate control, in-control Wi-Fi as well, that full-length panoramic roof, touchscreen interface with 12-volt power sockets, auxiliary, Bluetooth and USB inputs, and of course one of the primary things which people do enjoy in these further upgraded Range Rovers is the sound system. Full Meridian sound with 19 speakers fitted inside, front and rear parking sensors as well, with of course that reverse camera, the power opening and closing tailgate, voice control navigation is already built in, xenon headlights with LED day runners and LED rear lights as well. Of course for the kids the seats are Isofix anchor point prepped. In other words, it's pretty easy to see why people would love these so much. You have all of the benefits of a large family car in terms of space, loading room, comfort, safety, etc. The feeling of owning the road, quite frankly, because you're sitting higher up in a Range Rover, and these are fantastic cars to drive, it has to be said. On the other hand though, far better economy and road tax than you would think a Range Rover would have, and all of that extra level of kit, luxury, comfort, ease of life accessories, which of course the equivalent hatchback or lower end vehicle for that same price point simply wouldn't have. If then you would like to get in touch regarding this particular Range Rover Sport Autobiography Dynamic, you could send us an email to the address shown right here on screen, or of course give us a call on 01749 871155 or via our mobile number of 07482 267 439.